Welcome back to the Anime Culture Corner, and today I'm starting a new series called My Favorite Moments in Anime, where I review and discuss which anime scenes have impacted me the most. A bit more lighthearted than my normal video essays, I just want these videos to bring more attention to the power of anime and what kind of emotions that powerful scenes can stir up. And I feel like now, with Hunter x Hunter's rising popularity after being added to Netflix, coming at the cost of it becoming pretty damn mainstream, I thought it'd be fun to talk about. But I felt like choosing just one moment from Hunter x Hunter would be disrespectful, because it has so many golden moments to choose from. So I'll talk about a variety of them and try to explore just why Hunter x Hunter can produce so many iconic scenes. And before I dive into the first one, spoiler warning ahead. This is personally my favorite fight in the show. Kurapika up until this point seems kind of immature, having uncontrollable fits of anger and solely desiring to avenge his clan. But I feel like this moment and arc completely changes our perspective of him. Uvogin is easily one of the strongest enemies to appear in the show by this point, and instead of Gon or Killua coming to the fight, the duo we've been focusing on for most of the show up until now, it's Kurapika, and he crushes him. Seeing how he's completely built his nen around his goal of killing the Spider Troop shows his devotion to his cause, on top of being insanely badass and taking down the strongest member of the Spider Troop, the guy who did this. I feel like this scene and the majority of Hunter x Hunter's most memorable moments are caused by a sudden shift in power dynamics, which is pretty common in shonen anime, with moments like Goku's first Super Saiyan transformation setting the standard for modern day power-up scenes. But also, because the pacing of Hunter x Hunter is pretty concise, with the slight exception of the Chimera Ant arc, the frequency of these great moments is something you would expect of a short 12-episode anime rather than a long-running shonen. The scene also capitalizes on the fact that Kurapika's dominant win is pretty unexpected, and Hunter x Hunter, again, has a lot of these moments. When Leorio punches Jing, when Netero and the Zoldycks arrive against the Chimera Ants, just about any moment when Killua flexes his assassin skills. But the next scene on this list shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. Gon vs Pitou is one of the most notorious moments in all of modern anime. We see Gon's rage gradually build up to this point, that he's becoming a loose cannon. And the contrast between the internal rage we see inside of him to his calm demeanor is exactly what's so scary about him at this moment. The fear that at any time he can snap. And he does. He destroys a character who, as most Chimera Ants are by this point in the show, seems absolutely unbeatable by anyone except maybe Netero or Killua's family. The sudden shift in power dynamic, again, is what makes this moment incredible. And the way that Killua is the only person who can calm Gon down. It's a testament to the bond they form throughout the show and foreshadowing for just how far Killua will go for Gon in the arc that comes after this. These kinds of power-up scenes are a staple of most famous shonen, and Hunter x Hunter is no exception. Gon's fight against Hisoka, as well as his epic rage moment after the fight against Morel. Just the moments where we personally witness what a character is capable of when they're pushed to their limits is what Gon shows us over and over again. And now, the polar opposite of this type of hype action scene.
Hi.
名前を呼んでくれないか。
おやすみなさい。メルエム。
This scene is, in my opinion, one of the best ways that the Chimera Ant arc could have ended. I think that this arc argues a lot about what defines humanity, and seeing how Meruem changed over time, with his adoption of a name, discovery of Go, etc. It's very reminiscent of what I talked about that makes a human in my last video about Parasite the Maxim. The fact that Meruem begins to care for this blind, inept girl who physically is so far inferior to him creates one of anime's coolest dynamics between completely different characters. He can never win against her, but he keeps trying, which shows that power is never absolute, a theme we see many times throughout this arc. The way he asks her one more time to say his name as he passes away means so much. That maybe this simplistic life is all that Meruem ever really wanted. This is the kind of implication this scene leaves us with, and it cements Meruem as an incredibly deep and resonating final man antagonist for the series. And those were just a couple of my personal favorites. If I missed one that you love, feel free to comment, because I'm sure that as a fellow fan of the series, I felt the same way about it. And to my manga readers, we can only pray that someday the Hisoka Chrollo fight gets animated. But anyway, this has been the Anime Culture Corner. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future, in-depth show and character analyses.